Okay, we're gonna spice it up a little. You've seen characters with 2 swords, with 1 sword, but have you seen a character with a sword on his mouth? No, you have not.
Chocho, Chow Chow,
Chocho.
Choo Choo,
Choo Choo. Chocho.
something like that.
The dog. Hey, I'm Gracia, and this is Hugh.
Hey, what's up?
He's the man that got me into One Piece to begin with. So he's seen the anime and read the manga already, and then he rewatched the anime with me. However, I have not read the manga since chapter 1. So we're gonna do a reread for him, but it's actually my first time reading One Piece. So I'm really excited about that.
Very excited. Can't wait. So for this video, we're going to be starting from chapter 1 all the way through to Baratie.
So let's dive right into it. So first of all, I would love to address the art style on these first chapters, because I think we got used to the art style on current arcs, especially Wano. Like, oh my god, the art style just increased by so much. However, the art style on the first chapters is just so iconic. It's like 90s, it's like very cartoony. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I love it personally.
Yeah,
And
everyone had like big hands, big feet.
yeah, exactly. And they were like less proportionate. They were more cartoony.
Yep,
exactly. And I think it's really cute. I actually do notice a difference in the anime and the manga with the first chapters. So in the manga, I don't know, they're really clean panels, and Oda even used like really a lot of like shading style, like the gray shading style on some of the chapters.
A lot of shading, a lot of blank backgrounds.
Yeah, I really love the vibe. It was really nostalgic reading it for the first time, but
yeah, it's awesome experience going back again. So on page 1, we have the infamous Goldie Roger on the very first page. So what were your thoughts on that?
Goldie Roger is like a very piratey character, like, it's very stereotypical pirate. He has like
the pirate.
He is the pirate, which is something that I love, because he's like the black mustache and like the the outfit and the cape and everything. Like, he looks like an actual pirate. So it was really cool. I don't remember if the anime did this at the very beginning, but well, I guess it's in the intro of the anime that explains Goldie Roger, who he was and everything. But I just feel like it was so cooler just to see it that one time, and the beginning of the Great Pirate era. And it's just so exciting to see that there's an actual treasure that all of the pirates are gonna like go looking for. You get excited already, like it's a pirate story. So
You're ready for the adventure.
yeah, and we still don't know what the One Piece is. Up to today, 2022, don't know, no clue. So yeah, after that, with Goldie Roger, we see the red hair pirates. We see Shanks from chapter 1, and we're still waiting for Shanks to do something. But it was so cool to see all of the red hair pirates crew just hanging around in Luffy's home village. And then we actually see how Luffy gets his car. And in the anime, I don't think they show that in the first episode. I think they make like a special episode later on.
Yeah, I think there was some kind of TV special or something like that where they actually showed the scene where Luffy was on Shanks' ship.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, everyone look. And then, brutally stabbed his cheek. But
yeah, like that was so deep. I was like,
it was a pretty deep one. Yeah.
You could have like lost an eye, literally.
Yeah.
But it was so cute that we see that on the manga, like from the first chapters. I didn't know that, for example, because it's my first time reading it.
Yeah, there's a lot of different little differences in the beginning of the story between the manga and the anime.
Yeah.
Eventually, it kind of got tightened up as the story went on, the anime went on. But it's pretty good at adaptation now, I would say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love the anime. It's so good. There's also a scene in the bar. I don't remember exactly what they were doing, but Luffy says that his punches are as strong as pistols or something like that. So I thought it was really cute, because one of his very first attacks once he eats the fruit is Gum Gum Pistol. So I think that's really cute that they addressed that, like how they connected that. I just thought it was really cute.
Yeah, another connection I like in the beginning is how in bold text they say someone in the bar says something about freedom. I think it actually might be the pork chop guy, Lucky-Roo. I think it's Lucky-Roo, yeah. Pork chop guy.
Pork chop guy,
yeah. And said something about, pirates are like the freest, or, freedom was like bold text. And that's like a good, just a general theme of the story is freedom, obviously. So that whole scene felt like it allowed Luffy to or it kind of set up like the story for Luffy going forward, all of the themes and his abilities and the devil fruit and Shanks as his like essentially like inspiration to be a pirate. The whole bar scene is a really good way to set the tone for the rest of the story.
Yeah, and how Luffy wants to be the freest man of the world. So that word resonated in him like since he was a little kid. So that's why, yeah, like you said, like all the inspiration leading to where he is today. It's really crazy. Like we get so much information on the very first chapter, or maybe not information, but like if you know the story like we do, like we're both caught up. It's crazy how many little things that you find in the very, very first chapter that are so impactful today. Like I don't know how your experience was reading for the first time without knowing what happens next, but I don't think these resonated as much as it did when you watched it again or you read it again, right?
It's really one of those stories where you have to go back and read it again, as daunting as a task that is.
I know there's like a plus 1,000 chapters, but I promise it's worth rereading, honestly. Like I'm enjoying it even more than I did the very first time through.
Yeah, once you do get caught up, you're realizing that now your intake of One Piece on a regular basis is weekly instead of daily now, or multiple times daily if you're me. So going back is just a good way to just get more of it more frequently, and you get to see things that you missed, because there were so many things that I missed along the way the first time that I like either didn't care about, or was like you don't understand the story of One Piece until you're kind of deep in it, and you start to see like the hidden themes and the foreshadowing, especially going back and like seeing where those foreshadows were set up, and like, oh, like wow, this happened and it's not mentioned again for another like 500 chapters.
Literally.
That's one of the coolest things. It's going back and actually rereading. So I think my experience rereading and rewatching too is it's one of the best experiences, even though I wish I could do it for the first time again if I had the choice.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god. Yeah, I wish I appreciated more at the beginning, because I remember, don't hate me for this, but I remember when he first got me into One Piece, we started with the anime, obviously. Literally the first episodes I was like partially paying attention. I was not really that hooked, and I so regret it, because now that I reread it and I watched it again with my sister, I'm like, oh my god, this is beautiful. And now I'm telling my sister, like, pay attention on this episode, and she's like,
don't miss it.
And she's like snoring already. Okay, something that is hilarious and it's such an Oda thing to do is taking really serious moments and just make them like super nonchalant or something. Like Luffy eating the gum fruit was everything like about this story. It was like, even in Wano, it was what saved them, essentially, literally. So like the fact that we have the bandits coming into the bar, about to fight the pirates and everything, and you have all these little panels of like Shanks' crew like looking at the door, like who just came in, and then we have the tiniest panel on the bottom corner of Luffy looking while munching the gum fruit. It's like, you would think that, compared to other animes, when the main character gets like a power-up or whatever, they make it so like impactful and like memorable and whatever. And here we literally just see a little kid like munching on a random fruit that he found. And like, you as a reader don't even pay attention to that until later on that you discover that he has powers, and he's like, you ate the fruit. Like, it's just hilarious how he literally just puts that little panel there, and it's literally a life-changing thing for Luffy. It's just amazing.
Yeah. It's the most nonchalant thing ever, just because he was hungry.
Yeah, literally. And he's always hungry, so like, what's the difference,
It's a perfect way for him to get a power, is to eat it.
Yeah, it's perfect. There's also this really cute scene at the bar where Luffy tells Makino that he is gonna repay her his debt or whatever with the treasure tab. So I'm really excited about that return, because Luffy hasn't returned to his village like since he set sail. So I'm really excited to see how that interaction is gonna be, and also with Whooplash and everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm really excited to see their reactions, because like we see them sometimes when in other scenes, like looking at Luffy's bounty and everything, like their reactions, as we're seeing the reactions of the rest of the world every time their bounty increases. But we still yet have to see that like re-encounter in person. That's gonna be so beautiful.
Yeah,
and
I can't
funny
wait to see that. Yeah.
It's also really cool that Luffy mentions that he wants 10 crewmates in his ship. So we have 9, like 10 including Luffy, right? right? So we still have yet to see which is the 10th member. I mean, I guess it's kind of obvious it's gonna be Yamato based on current chapters. Yeah, but
I think so. I'm team Yamato.
I want Yamato to join, but like, it's, you know, knowing Oda, he can just like completely change the story. And like, even if Yamato wants to join, like Luffy may say like, nah, you're gonna stay here or something. And if not, like, who's gonna be the 10th member in future arcs? So I don't know, it's really exciting. But it's really cute that, you know, everything is like, as Luffy says at the beginning, it's all fate. Like how he like, you know, recruits all of his members. It's really cool. I can't wait to see how he recruits everyone in future chapters. Okay, so enough of the first chapter. We've literally been spending like a long time talking about the first chapter. There's just so much in it that is worth mentioning. But moving on to the next chapter, I can't with how Oda draws his characters. I know in Shanks' crew there's also like funny looking characters and everything, but we start second chapter describing this beautiful woman and everything. We see Alvida and I can't. Like, Oda's humor and the way he draws certain characters is just hilarious, and oh my god, it's just so funny. And then how Luffy just like like talks, you know, about her, and it's like, who is this old hag that's talking here? Like, what is she saying? Like, he has no respect for everyone, and I love it. Yeah, he's just like, he's straight up honest. Like, he has no filter. He doesn't know like when to tone it down, and it's just hilarious. I love Luffy.
Yeah, he's the best.
But despite like Luffy being so straightforward and honest, he's also like very inspirational to other characters. I just really love, regardless if you're a friend or enemy, Luffy's like inspiring to everyone, and how he inspired Coby to, you know, join the Navy. Like, even if Luffy is a pirate and like, you know, pirates and Navy are like enemies, he was like, you want to be, you know, an admiral or whatever, like, go for it. You know, you can do it if you believe you can or whatever. So like, I think it's really cute how Luffy like just encourages everyone to follow their dreams, and it's just really wholesome. And it totally changed Kobe's like mindset. Like, he was like this little scaredy cat doing Alvida's chores and everything, and then he suddenly was like, you know, it's time to gear up and, you know, join the Navy. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, he doesn't really restrict anyone on what they want to do, as long as it doesn't infringe upon his plans or his obviously his crew and stuff like that. But if they want to set out and do something and they have their like heart in the right place, then he is more than encouraging towards them. So that's his whole thing. He's liberating everyone, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the
Drums
idea
of liberation.
Yeah. The joy boy.
Okay, we're going too far into the future.
Yeah, too much. Settle down.
Hold on. Okay, it's Zoro time. Your favorite straw hat. Is it? Yeah. Why is Zoro your favorite straw hat? Like, it's such a cliche. Every guy loves Zoro. Like,
I know, I'm just falling right into the stereotype of male One Piece enjoyers.
Literally.
So Zoro, I think he's just that kind of standard strong-willed. He could almost be like his own main character in some ways. Like, if Luffy wasn't there, like you could easily put Zoro into his own manga or anime.
He would get lost though.
True, he would get lost. That's his one flaw. His one flaw.
Or fall asleep or get too drunk to do anything.
yeah, something like that. But no, he's just a really cool character. I think, you know, just the whole three sword style was something that stood out to me in the beginning. I was like, what? How? Okay, whatever. It's like that is pretty.
Yeah, that is pretty unique, because like you see a lot of swordsmen in anime. Like, you know, Bleach is literally all, you know, swordsmanship.
Yeah. Swordsmanship.
And but here he's like, okay, we're gonna spice it up a little. You've seen characters with two swords, with one sword, but have you seen a character with a sword on his mouth? No, you have not. True. Enter Zoro.
And One Piece was ahead of its time, because that came out in like 1997, 98.
Yeah, I think so, something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a very interesting style.
Yeah.
But like, and also his convictions. As soon as you get to Baratie and you see him fight Mihawk for the first time, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but that's okay.
Stick to the script.
Stick to the script, sorry. So that was the moment that really got me hooked on the story, because Zoro is just such a cool character to watch and follow, and you really want him to, you know, complete his dream and see his dream to the end of the story. And just seeing what he has to overcome, you get a direct example of what the strongest swordsman needs to be. And that was a really cool moment to see.
Yeah, like Zoro's first interaction with Luffy was really cool. Like when the little girl was giving Zoro an onigiri, and then the worst character ever made Helmeppo.
The worst
The
ever.
worst ever.
The worst so far.
The worst so far. And he literally like stepped on these like poor girls like onigiri and like said it tasted disgusting because I think she used sugar in the recipe.
Oh,
and you're
yeah,
not
maybe.
supposed to, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, maybe you are. Who knows? So yeah, the fact that Zoro ate it all up and like he was telling Luffy, like, make sure you tell her that I ate everything. It was just like so beautiful. Yeah, and then the fact that Zoro's attacks are called onigiri sometimes, it's like
It's like a tribute to that moment.
yeah, it's so cute. Like I love how everything just like circles back to, you know, these moments at the beginning of the story.
Yeah. Onigiri is like, you know, Luffy's pistol.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Kind of the same.
Yeah, and then the fact that Helmeppo wasn't gonna fulfill his promise to Zoro about releasing him after the time they said, and then Luffy overhearing these and punching him in the face in front of everyone was like so satisfying. Like Luffy's punches are always so satisfying. It doesn't matter if you're rich, poor, or like if you're like Navy, pirate, anything. Like if he sees something is unfair, like he's gonna like punch you in the face and like punch you real nice and like it's gonna be so satisfying to see.
Oh yeah, impactful.
So I just love those Luffy moments. It's like he gets really serious about some things. Like he's always goofing around and smiling and laughing and everything, but when he sees some, you know, form of injustice and how serious he gets, it's like whoa, like you can feel it. It's so impactful, like how he just changes his expression, like, you know, lower head and like serious face. It's just wow. Yeah, another really cool thing I like about Zoro, I mean, it's the fact that he doesn't like discriminate if you're like a man or a woman, and you know, he will fight you no matter what, like if you're like a, you know, opponent to him. So it was just so cool to know that, you know, Quina, being a girl, she outvested Zoro all the time, and she was like literally, she was the best swordsman. It's just so cute how they promised each other that they were gonna like, you know, keep that promise, and it's just so hard to see that the way she just died.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that she took an L to the strongest character in the story.
Who?
You know, down these stairs. I got that one from Reddit.
Cut. So yeah, I mean, there was like so many amazing moments in this little Zoro saga thingy. Yeah, just the fall of Captain Morgan and how like even the Navy people were so afraid of him, and they were happy that he was taken down by Luffy, a pirate. But you know, they didn't care about that because then, you know, their actual duty, which is protect the civilians, you know, something they can actually do now as Navy soldiers, protecting the, you know, the village. This is what they were, you know, told to do.
Yeah, as like good Navy soldiers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they were even afraid of their own like captain. So like the fact that Luffy just took him down and everyone was happy about it, you can really see how of a, you know, terrible captain he was, obviously. Yeah. I just love that Luffy, since this moment, starts going from village to village, island to island, to remove a, you know, terrible oppressing power, whether it's another pirate, a warlord, a Navy commander, something, and just takes them out of the island, and then everyone is happy, and then they can like continue to live their lives happily and without fear and without having their money taken from them and whatever. So like it's pretty cool how this is where Luffy starts doing that in the story, and then he continues to do so as we go on island to island.
Exactly.
Pretty cool. And then the Navy people were like, yeah, we're not gonna eat for 3 days because we saluted a pirate.
Yeah.
It's like,
crazy.
oh my god, it's so like uptight. Like, who's gonna know, you know?
Yeah.
If it was me in the Navy, I'd be like, just keep your mouth shut. It's fine. It's fine. No one needs to know.
East Blue Navy were a little bit lackadaisical when it came to the rules, I think. Something that I love in One Piece is that when we're in that restaurant with Luffy, Zoro, and Koby, and then Luffy's walking out the door, Oda draws Luffy in a way sometimes where you don't see his eyes and you just see like a little smirk or like a smile.
I love that.
Yeah, and that's such, to me, like now that we know what happens in the future, you know, Joy Boy spoilers, but that is, you know, that's a perfect representation of what Joy Boy is, and that's just a noble, like thankless figure that just helps people out with a smile, and like it doesn't matter, you know, just removing his eyes from the picture and just seeing a smile, like that's Joy Boy is like, you know, that figure that brings happiness, brings joy. Yeah, I was trying to avoid the joy word, but you know,
brings
but
joy. I mean,
that's a good way to. That, you know, I like the way that Oda draws him in that sense because it looks really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Finally, we see Nami entering the story. So yeah, we know Nami is a little sneaky little thief, pirate thief.
Cat burglar.
A cat Burglar.
Yep.
Burglar.
Yep.
Burger.
Tough one.
Burgers.
I'm hungry now.
I'm hungry too. So yeah, you know, she's like, you know, tricking some of the buggy pirates into, you know, I have a treasure here. Like, I'm just so tired and fainting and whatever. And then they fall for it, obviously, because pirates are supposed to be stupid, especially male pirates.
She did the whole damsel in distress thing.
She did the whole damsel in distress thing, and then she just stole their boat and everything. So that was hilarious. And I just love the character introduction because, like, she's all about, you know, the money and, like, deceits and, like...
All about that money.
It's all about the bling bling, all the berries.
Yeah, all about them berries.
All about them berries. So I just think it's fantastic. Like, I love Nami since episode 1. So yeah, now we have entering the scene our current emperor of the sea, Buggy the Clown.
The goat.
I still can't believe that, but we're not talking about that right now. We're still in the past.
Yeah.
But I just love Oda's character design, but like the ships, it's insane. Like literally Buggy the Clown. So his ship literally looks like a circus. Like you can see on the front of the ship, you have like an elephant and then there's like circus tents. Mm-hmm. It's so cool and original and like so extravagant. Like it's just amazing. So
he really puts the theme of the pirate crew like in the ship. So you know, as soon as you see the ship, it's not just like another ordinary pirate ship. You're like, oh, that's Buggy's ship. Oh, that's Straw Hat's ship.
Exactly.
Like they have a personality, just like the crew has like a theme or personality essentially.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cool. And then I love when Luffy's fighting Buggy for the first time, and then he realizes he eats the chop fruit, which is why he can like detach himself, like his body parts and whatever. And then Luffy goes like, chop man, that guy's a freak. And then Oda points a little banner that says like gum man.
Yeah, it's like, look who's talking.
Yeah,
like,
it's so good. It's so good. I love the little subtle comedy. It's just amazing. Like I just love One Piece comedy. It's like so subtle, but like it actually makes you laugh. It actually makes you chuckle. Like it's not cringe or anything. It actually makes you laugh. So I think there's a specific part of this arc that Zoro really displays his loyalty to Luffy, because I think they're in the middle of something going on. Luffy's in a cage and like Zoro's trying to get Luffy out of it, and Nami's like, you know, what are you doing? Like why are you helping him? Like, you know, run for your life kind of thing. And like Zoro is like, you know, and she's like, you know, why are you sacrificing for someone else? Like no pirate would ever do this. And we see that a lot with like other pirate crews. Like they're just like, you know, they just want treasures and they just like look after themselves. So like I think since the beginning with Zoro, like you can really see how selfless and like friendship oriented the Straw Hats are, like even with the very first crewmate. So I just really love how it starts to portray the theme of friendship, obviously, in the story. But it's really impactful. It's not like corny or anything. It's like literally like I would sacrifice myself for you. Like that's how loyal I am. It's just beautiful.
Power of friendship.
Power of friendship.
Unites us all.
Yes, sir.
So I think the theme of this arc is really all about treasure and what each individual pirate values as treasure, or what they see as treasure. Like Luffy with a straw hat, Nami with her money in general.
Money.
Yeah.
Well, to buy her village back.
Right. And eventually the tangerines that grow on the tree and that kind of thing. So and with Buggy, it's mostly just about like treasure and jewels. Like just, you know, he's the typical pirate that just wants that. So I think that it's a good arc that kind of sets up what these pirates view as their treasure. And going forward, that doesn't really change too much over time. Maybe Buggy's a little bit, because he gets a little bit more ambitious. Yeah, he gets a little more ambitious, and maybe he has Captain John's treasure. Are we doing theories? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't thought about that in a while, so maybe.
Who knows? But he's an emperor for some reason, and I'm sure we'll figure that out.
Oh my god. I think the very first time I cried in One Piece was with Chocho.
Chocho? Chow chow?
Chocho.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. Chocho.
Something like that.
The dog.
Yeah. The dog.
It's just like, I've seen it in the anime twice, I think. This first time reading it. So when we read the manga together, like, I think I am the one that reads it the most out loud and you just listen. Sometimes he reads, sometimes I read. But we read it out loud, and I remember like I was reading through that part and I knew what was gonna happen, but my voice started breaking because like I was like, no, Chocho.
So I really like the fight between two future Yonko here, because Oda really starts to flex his action scenes and how he draws them, especially the fact that they're always serious, but they have comedy mixed in. And I think that's just something that's very unique to One Piece, compared to a lot of other manga that are more serious. And the fact that also Zoro is frequently at a disadvantage in some way. He's always kind of like handicapped going into a fight, just to show how much of an uphill battle he needs to get over to win the fight and basically survive. He basically did this fight with a stab wound, and from Buggy, and then he got hit by a buggy ball, so he should be dead, but that's that's Zoro for you.
But it's Zoro, yeah. Invincible.
I also find it kind of funny how Shanks is probably responsible for the fact that Buggy and Luffy both got their devil fruits, and now they're both Yonko, so it's like, is there some kind of connection there? I don't know.
He's playing 40 chess, man. Like he's always like 17 steps ahead.
There's something up with that man. I don't know.
So yeah, overall that the arc with Buggy was really funny. It was a lot of like strategic fights, really funny fights. I was a little like, really? This is like one of the main villains, like, like Buggy the Clown.
Literally a clown?
Yeah, so I was like, okay, like the first time I watched the anime, I was like, okay, what is this? Yeah. But no, I'm like so excited about the future, especially given current times. But so then they recruit Nami, so now we have the East Blue, no, it's the Romance trio, right? The Romance Dawn trio.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we like fast forward to like this little, I think it's like 2 chapters with Gaimon. Yeah, oh my god. Like
the best characters.
Oh my god, like literally, same. I remember I did a Twitter challenge and I asked people to give me characters to draw, and whoever got the most votes, I think it was you, right? You put Gaimon?
Yeah, I put Gaimon. Not a troll.
Oh my god, and he won, and I had to draw him. So yeah, I've drawn Gaimon before. It's in the records.
Hell yeah.
I like these little scenes. They're so stupid and funny. When Gaimon was talking about how he ended up where he is, and he was saying that it was like 20 years ago, and then he was saying like, yeah, I used to have like 2 eyebrows or something, and then you flash back 20 years ago and he still has a unibrow. So
yeah, nothing changed. A little subtle comedy there.
Yeah, I love it. I just love those little moments. Like I appreciate those, even if it feels like a little filler kind of chapter. It's so funny, and like I enjoy it so much.
Yeah, you always get a chuckle out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we got Luffy, Nami, and Zoro, and now we're gonna recruit Usopp. It's just a really like fun arc, and Usopp's really interesting character for me. He's always been.
How'd you feel about Usopp early on?
Well, at first I was like, who's this little obnoxious kid just yelling to the town, like just saying
the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, the boy who cried wolf. But then later on in the story, you find out why he was calling that pirates are back, and it actually
and of course it makes you cry.
It crushed my heart completely, but we'll get to that. Yeah, like I love again Oda's attention to detail. So we see Clahador. The way Kaya says it, it's so like,
yeah. I don't know what she's saying.
Anyways, so we have Clahador. Like, so he's wearing glasses, and he does this thing where he pushes his glasses up with his
palms.
With his palms. So you're like, all right. So you feel like every character has like a really weird tick or something that they do. Yeah. So then, but obviously later on you understand that because he has these like Wolverine kind of claws that he obviously cannot do these because he'll stab his eye all the way through his skull.
He'll be looking like Shanks after he does that.
He would, yeah, exactly. So we don't want to see that. So, but I just love that even before he was introduced to have these weapons, he was like doing these kind of like things. So I think it's pretty cool how Oda like introduces these kind of things. Like it's so subtle, and it's like, I don't know who thinks of that thing.
Creative. He's a creative man.
He's really creative. It's crazy. Okay, so this arc is so cool because it tells all of Usopp's tales to Kaya that they're obviously made up, but then in the future they kind of come true, like how he was telling Kaya that he was in a village with like little people or something like that, and then in Dressrosa we see that he meets the Tontaras. Yes, good job. What other lies does he say?
He says something about a big fish.
Is that from the movie
Little Garden, when they got blasted through the fish?
Oh, that's right.
Or there's like a fish that's as big as an island, or said something about something like that.
So there's a couple of tales that he told Kaya that eventually came true. So then there's people saying that he is like the most advanced observation hockey ever. Like
that's the first hockey type that he learned.
Literally, because like how else do you come up with these crazy legs? Like where did he he come because he's always been stuck in that island, so like where did he get these stories from? You know what I'm saying? So like either he dreamt about them and then he told Kaya about them, so like
he's manifesting his own
right
destiny.
So yeah, it's crazy. Like it's not just some random stuff, like he says like I'm gonna become a great warlord of the seas, and some like his father Usopp. Like these are actual tales that he tells in like a very specific way, and the fact that they come true in the future, it's crazy. Like I wonder how that happens, like if it's a dream or what it is. So then again, we see another example in this arc of Luffy making his enemy like turn and root for him. Like we see the Black Hat pirates rooting for Luffy in the fight against, you know, Captain Kuro, like Lahador. He killed his own crewmates and everything. Like he was vicious, he was selfish, he just wanted the treasure for himself. He didn't care about his crew whatsoever. So then when Luffy's fighting him like one-on-one, and then everyone is rooting for him, and even his own crew, like how sad is that, you know?
He gets his enemies underlings to rally around him.
Yeah, exactly. So
instead of their captain. So
yeah, it's amazing, the inspiration and, you know, everything that Luffy can achieve in battle without even knowing. Like Luffy's not telling these people like, hey, side with me or anything. Like Luffy's just being himself, and like he's in the moment, and people are just drawn to him, you know?
Yeah, it's just like Mihawk said during Marineford, is that his quote about Luffy was essentially saying that that's one of the most dangerous qualities a pirate can have, is the ability to have people follow you. It's more powerful than, you know, anything on the seas, apparently. So
I forgot about that. That's crazy. I mean, it's literally, it's Luffy's most dangerous ability. So, you know, after all the fight and everything against the Black Cat pirates, we see Usopp, you know, saying farewell and everything to his crew, the little 3 boys, and also to Kaya. And then how he tells Kaya that he's gonna return and, you know, tell her only tales that are true. It's like, oh my god, like I'm literally getting goosebumps right now. Like it's like I'm so excited for that moment. Yeah, because like all of the adventures that are ahead of him that we know of already, like I'm really excited. Just as I am excited for Luffy to return to his village, I'm really excited for Usopp to like return to his village and like see these. As I was saying earlier, like the fact that he was yelling like, oh, the pirates are here, the pirates are here, it's because he was hoping that his father Usopp would return, and that just like broke my heart completely, because poor kid just lost his mother to terminal disease. It's just crazy because he tells his mom, like when she's dying, that he's gonna find a cure for all diseases or something like that. There's gonna be a cure for every disease, like I promise you, or something like that. And it just makes me so excited because it literally comes together with Chopper's dream of finding a cure to all diseases, essentially. Like he wants to cure every illness in the world. And then of course, well, we have Kaya giving the going Mary to the Straw Hats. So
big moment.
Yes, big moment. And it just like literally flashed me towards the end of Enies Lobby, and I don't want to get to that part because I'm gonna cry all over again.
Oh yeah.
But it's just crazy, like this ship went through a lot now that I think about it, and such a beautiful ship. Like I love the design, and I love the little like ship on the ship kind of situation. It's so funny, like when they're obviously doing the flags and everything, like Usopp, you know, Luffy draws this horrible design of the Straw Hat flag.
Yeah, the not logo, but the
like the Straw Hat like the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, the Jolly Roger.
And then Usopp comes with this perfect Jolly Roger for the ship, and it's just so cool. But like how Usopp tells Luffy directly, like the captain, okay, you can be captain for now. It didn't hit as much. You like at first you were like, this little kid just wants to be captain, like, you know, so cute, like, you know, let's see. He's just memeing. Yeah, like he just wants to be captain. But then we fast forward to Water 7. It's like,
it's like, oh shit.
He was not just memeing, y'all. No. He was not memeing at all.
Nope.
He was dead serious from the start. When we get to that part, I'm gonna enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
So before we even get to Baratie, we meet Yasuke.
Sure.
Yasuke and Johnny, and who are actually like also bounty hunters, and they know Zoro from this job, I guess. And they are the ones that suggested to go to Baratie, and Luffy was like, oh yeah, good, like I need a cook, so perfect. So it's literally the reason why they met Sanji, thanks to both of them.
Yeah, the two bros,
they were such bros, and like one of them was dying, and then they cured him with limes or something.
Yeah, scurvy.
Yeah,
I think they had scurvy.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, weird introduction, but okay.
And then Nami's like, you idiots, get out of the way.
Speaking of that, I love that, like literally poor Nami, until later on when we get Robin into the crew, it balances out a little bit, but at first I feel like Nami is literally the babysitter of these men, because they're so stupid.
Yeah, she's the mother figure.
She is the mother
sure.
figure.
Yeah.
Because even when Robin is on the crew, she also is like super nonchalant and she doesn't care. Like she just laughs at what everyone else is doing, which is funny because she's the older one. Like she's like 28 when we meet her, and Nami's like 19 or something. So it's really funny how Robin just lets them be kids, and Nami is the one like, come on, like, you know, stop doing this thing, like stop being stupid, literally. And
yeah, exactly.
It's just so funny. I love their dynamic. I can't wait for them to all be together. But yeah, once they are in Baratie, I think there's a scene where Nami is looking at all of the bounties on the ship, and she grabs Arlong's bounty. So that's when it all begins, and it builds up so much emotion, because at first, like, you see the bounty, you have no idea what that is or why she's getting so worked up for. You know, reading for the first time and, like, you know, knowing the story, you're like so excited to see what's gonna happen in Arlong Park. It's such a good arc. I can't wait to get to that.
Yeah, it's a great arc.
Almost there.
Definitely one of the best of the East Blue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
I can't wait to talk about that one. So yeah, like the first time we see Sanji, he gives off like this vibe, like kind of like Leo DiCaprio, James Bond kind of vibe, like very suave.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah. So especially with women, obviously, just like James Bond was like a ladies' man as well, and so, you know, so it kind of like portrays that kind of style, which is, it's really fun. Such a contrast compared to the other four crew members that we have. So it was interesting.
When we first see Sanji, he gets into a lot of like verbal and sometimes physical arguments with the rest of the Baratie crew members.
Yeah.
And
Patty and Carne.
yeah, exactly. Once you get to the end of Baratie, you actually see how much of a family and how deeply they actually care for each other. And that was a good transition for Sanji to go from that to just basically the same thing. A bunch of crew members that become family, and they'll do anything for each other. And that's, you know, he kind of just transitioned from one to the other.
Yeah. That's totally true. I love those moments. And then we have Luffy again, as always, like just snooping into conversations like that doesn't involve him at all. Like he's like, Sanji is feeding Jin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sanji's feeding Jin some food and everything because he was starving and everything, and they're literally just like talking and like enjoying the moment. And then Luffy's like, aha, I found you, my cook. And he's like, and Sanji's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's
like,
just so yeah, like who are you, first of all? So it's just so funny how Luffy has like no self-awareness of like, you know, about his surroundings or anything. He's just like super focused, and he's like, I need a cook, I found him, I want you, no one else. Literally in a ship full of cooks, he's like, I want you. And honestly, like, you know, you see the meaning behind of this, because you saw that Sanji was the only one who decided to feed someone, because we know that Sanji's motto is like, you know, he needs to feed every single man or woman, you know, like no one should starve. No one is gonna be hungry. So like he didn't care that, you know, Jin was like a pirate, or like, you know, he had bad intentions or anything. Like everyone was like discriminating him, like Patty and Carter were like, you know, you know, kicking him out basically. And Sanji was like, I'm gonna feed you, like I don't care if you're gonna like attack us later, but I'm gonna feed you, you're hungry. So I think that's what Luffy saw. So that's why Luffy was like straightforward, like I found you, you're my cook.
Yeah, Sanji really learned that lesson from Zeph when they were stranded on the island together.
Yes. Oh,
and
that story.
Yeah, that's kind of how it affected him from that moment on.
Yeah.
Is because Zeph essentially gave all his food to Sanji without Sanji realizing it, and Sanji knows what it means to starve and to not have food. So it's a, you know, really brutal moment for Sanji, but eventually it turns him into the character who he is now.
Yeah, but then it's so cute how Sanji's like yelling at Zeph, and he's like, why the hell did you not eat anything? Why you told me that, you know, you had food for yourself, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was here ready to murder you to survive. Like, I was gonna kill you and take your food, essentially. And, you know, just Zeph saying, like, because you had the same dream as me, it's like...
I love the scene in the restaurant where the Straw Hats are just kind of like interacting with each other, because it's like one of the first moments you see them just in like a normal-ish setting.
Yeah.
You know, and how they interact as a group and like what their dynamic is, and just like making fun of each other. You know, they're just like a group of like kids essentially, just hanging out together, causing trouble at a restaurant. You know, it's very like typical teenage like hangout sesh, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a nice way to see them interact before they go off into, you know, their adventures. And we get some more moments like that along the way, but sometimes those are the moments that are really important to establish the characters.
Yeah.
And
it shows their personalities and how they interact with each other. Yeah. So then we get Don Krieg, another super hated character, because like he feels like he's the strongest and like he's done all these things and he's so powerful and everyone fears him and blah blah blah, and like, so another egomaniac villain into the story. So it's cool because like this was really like the moment where Luffy gets separated from the crew and he stays on Baratie because he wanted to fulfill his promise to Zeph about being the chore boy and whatever for like a month or something. So then he does this little deal like, if I defeat this pirate then you can like let me go or something like that, but I promise like I'll protect everyone or whatever. So like he literally stays. Like any pirate, like I said before, any pirate would have just like escaped and like not kept his word. Like Luffy owed nothing to these chefs or anyone. Like he could have just been a pirate and be like, I wrecked your ship but I don't care, so I'm out of here. And he stayed and like protected these people that he didn't know, and until the end, until he defeated Don Krieg. So that was really amazing. And then how he trusted his crew to let them go after Nami, because like Nami had already taken off with the Going Merry. She headed to Arlong Park, so Zoro and Usopp went after her. So it was crazy how Luffy trusted Zoro since the beginning, being like, you're good to go by yourself, get Nami, she's our navigator and I don't want anyone else to be our navigator but Nami. It's really cool how Zoro was like, you got it, he went there, but then he was interrupted by a Mihawk.
Yes, one of the coldest introductions of a character in any medium.
Yeah,
I would say
literally
just crushing ships like galleons, or what do they call it, galleons?
Yeah.
I think.
And he's like just chilling in his little tiny boat, with like candles, super gothic, and he's just like sitting, like chilling,
legs crossed,
literally legs crossed, just vibing, just
nothing but vibes.
cutting ships in half like it's no big deal, like
it's nothing.
Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah, one of the most badass introductions for sure.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really cool when Mihawk appears and everyone is like, who the hell is that or whatever, and Zeph goes like, that is like, Mihawk, the greatest swordsman of the world. So like it's just so exciting to see someone say that about a character. So I'm really excited to see in the future like Zoro being acknowledged like that, like people talking about Zoro and being like, oh yeah, he's the greatest swordsman of the world. Like I'm just so excited. Like just as Roger is the pirate king, I'm excited for that being said of Luffy, and then Zoro the greatest swordsman of the world. Like it's just so epic.
Yeah. And also when Mihawk says to Zoro, why are you pointing that sword at me? Is it out of confidence or is it out of ignorance? And Zoro responds with something like ambition and a promise to a friend. The dialogue there is like really cool already.
Yeah, I think the entire Mihawk and Zoro scene, the dialogue exchange is amazing.
Yeah, Zoro doesn't like cower or back down. Like,
yeah,
you probably know that Zoro, seeing him there already, he's like, maybe he doesn't feel ready for this fight, but he's got to just pull up his bootstraps and get in there.
Yeah,
and
literally.
Just and he, it's probably more out of curiosity too, as well as like, I gotta know
how strong
the strongest is, and then go from there.
It's crazy how like Usopp and Zoro leave to get Nami in Arlong Park, and then Luffy stays behind with Sanji, and Usopp tells Luffy that you better get that cook so that we can be all together and then start setting sail to the Grand Line. So it's just crazy to me how without even knowing Sanji, the fact that Luffy wanted Sanji to be the cook and the rest of the Straw Hats just acknowledged that and didn't even like have an opinion about it. Like they didn't even like submit a vote or anything. Like they just accepted that Sanji was gonna be the cook, and they trusted that Luffy's decision on this was like legit, and they didn't even have an opinion about it. They just trusted it.
So in chapter 65, when Zeph and Sanji watch Luffy fight Don Krieg, there's this moment where Zeph tells Sanji, even a man bristling with powerful weapons can be skewered by the spear of blind grit. Grit counts more than steel. First of all, I just love this quote because it's just badass. But the other thing is that it kind of demonstrates or explains how willpower can be more important than just weapons in general, like military power, basically. You know what I mean? So it's more about the strength of someone's will is sharper than a standard regular weapon, and that's why Luffy's able to beat Don Krieg, who's all about weapons.
Yeah.
And Luffy's using his one weapon, which is himself.
Yeah. Speaking about like the way that they fight, like, you know, Don Krieg relies solely on weapons and like, you know, physical weapons, when in reality, like, Luffy is himself the weapon. And it's crazy to think that at this moment in these fights, Luffy did not have any gears. Like, we have not even reached gear second, because I think that's like in his lobby, right? Yeah. So like this was like based off of pure rubber, like, you know, the gum fruit,
pure devil fruit.
Yeah, pure devil fruit. Like, there was no hockey either. There was nothing. It was just like the devil fruit. So the creativity of Luffy using his devil fruit in combat is insane. Like, I love how he twists his legs and then with his feet he like clasps on like Don Krieg's head and then just like starts spinning it around and like launches him off. And it's super creative. Yeah, like you see other characters using like other weapons and like abilities and whatever. You know, there's just so much you can do with the gum fruit, and like Luffy literally like uses the, you know, to the fullest. Like, he is so creative with his attacks and it makes the fight so dynamic. And, you know, I know all of the big, you know, the main villains, you know, are defeated by the final blow and like, you know, there's a formula, but throughout the fights, the choreography is like different every time, because like Luffy always has like a very different ability that he uses. Like, even if he repeats attacks, like, it's just the way he does it and in the moments that he does it, it's just like really creative. And I just love that about One Piece fights. So yeah, very excited, because after these we're going to Arlong Park, so I'm really excited about that arc. I just remember the fight is amazing in the anime, so I'm really excited to see how it plays off in the manga.
Absolutely. I'm excited for you to get there.
Yes. So yeah, if you're all caught up with the One Piece manga and you want to reread with us, make sure to subscribe for the next arc. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at Arlong Park.